Is selling Canadian resources worth selling out Canadian values? Prime Minister Mark Carney was welcomed to New Delhi by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, announcing a slate of new agreements, which is a big deal, because until recently, this relationship was at a historic low. The previous Liberal government publicly accused Indian agents of killing a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil. But Carney has made it clear that he wants a reset.
There has been more engagement between the Canadian and Indian governments in the last year than there has been in more than 2 decades combined.
For Carney, engaging India is about building a network of middle power trade partners, countries that aren't economic hegemons who can support each other's financial interests in a world order that has been ruptured by US President Donald Trump. With India, Carney aims to double bilateral trade to $70 billion by 2030, expanding cooperation in critical minerals, nuclear energy, renewables, education, defense, and even space. But cooperation can also mean overlooking uncomfortable truths, and in Carney's case, it's a bit of flattery too.
I wouldn't call India a middle power. I mean, India is... I'm happy for Canada to be called a middle power, but I don't view, in all seriousness, in terms of the trajectory and the ambition.
But is acknowledging India as a great power pragmatism, capitulation, or a bit of both? Just before the visit, a Canadian official told reporters that Carney's administration was confident that extortion threats and violence by Indian agents in Canada were no longer continuing. Yet, last week, a Canadian-born Sikh separatist received a duty to warn from Canadian law enforcement, stating that he, his wife, and his children were at risk. And on the very day that Carney met Modi, Canadian media, citing intelligence and police sources, reported that Indian consular staff in Vancouver provided information to assist in the 2023 assassination of a Canadian Sikh separatist leader. But despite this reporting, Carney did not raise this issue in public remarks alongside Modi. Modi, however, did.
हम सहमत हैं कि टेररिज्म, एक्सट्रीमिज्म और रेडिकलाइजेशन दोनों देशों के लिए ही नहीं, पूरी मानवता के लिए साझा और गंभीर चुनौतियां हैं.
In allowing Modi to frame the two nations' alignment on extremism, which is what India calls all forms of Sikh separatism, without publicly naming the risk that Canadian Sikhs say they still face for exercising their charter-protected rights, it signals that Ottawa seems willing to go along with the Indian narrative because it's financially worth it.